Welcome everybody. My name is Jerry Byrne and today we're going to have a short demonstration of ChatGPT and we'll talk a little theory of what is ChatGPT and other AIs. So we'll look at what is ChatGPT, its reliability and reliability of some of the other equivalents. We'll look at a non-technical example, we'll look at a technical example, and we'll look at an example on learning and development. So what is ChatGPT? Well, ChatGPT is a natural language processing tool driven by artificial intelligence technology, or AI. It allows us as humans to talk to a machine, which is a chatbot, and we can have human-like conversations and much more. The language model can answer our questions, assist us with tasks such as composing an email, an essay, a poem, or, as we all know, there's a lot of conversation around students getting essays done for them or answers to questions. So the usage is currently open to us free of charge because it's in research and feedback collection phase at the moment. There is a paid subscription version called ChatGPT Plus at around $20 per month, but it's only in the US. ChatGPT Plus subscribers get faster response times, better connection, and early access to new features. Because sometimes when we use the free version, we can't really get on. So ChatGPT in a modified form is now powering Microsoft's new Bing. So Microsoft have bought into ChatGPT and now you will be using it in the background when you're using the Bing. Eventually, for Microsoft, it will power the company's effort to build a new AI co-pilot into all parts of our digital life. Bing uses OpenAI technology to process search queries, compile from different sources, summarize documents, generate travel itineraries, answer questions, and generally just chat with humans. When it works, this will be a potential revolution for search engines, but it's been plagued with problems and factual errors and unhinged conversations. So let's have a look at reliability now. Google felt the pain after they did a demo of its Bard tool, which isn't yet publicly available. It produced erroneous information about the James Webb Space Telescope. So in a live demo, giving the wrong information. Microsoft offered a similar response to what Google said about its gaffe. We recognise that there is still work to be done and are expecting that the system may make mistakes during this preview period, so it is not reliable, which is why the feedback is critical so we learn and help the models get better. So remember, these are not all going to be factual and correct information you get back, so we have to take everything with a pinch of salt. As one person said, it's always confident that it has the right answer, even when it doesn't. Or as I would say, I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. So let's have a look at a non-technical example. So let's say I wanted a poem about Jerry and David, two old school technical trainers who believed in hands-on in-person training rather than remote online training, and how their participants grew and developed their in-demand technical skills through reskilling and upskilling. So we open ChatGPT and in our browser, we get a user account and then we can have some new chats. So I will just paste in and then just press the enter key or the little airplane and watch the magic happen. So there is our poem generated from the information that I have put in. So as you can see, pretty efficient in the way it generates a reply back for us. And I will let you have a look at the poem. So that's one use Another use would be more technical. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at how it produces HTML code for a web page. Then we'll ask it to produce HTML with CSS. We want it to be styled with colors and boxes, different shapes, etc. And then we'll ask it to do HTML with some JavaScript, where JavaScript will validate the data. So this is something that our technical people will use on a regular basis, HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And we can ask a chatbot to do that for us. So we'll start by asking ChatGPT to produce HTML for us. So HTML code for insurance quote, press enter. And again, here we get HTML code for an insurance quote, name, email, phone, vehicle. And then it gives me an explanation. We can see that it has produced a fairly good form as a starting point. If you're not a technical person, believe me, this is the type of form that you see on many, many websites. So what about getting HTML with CSS? Well, I can go back to my chatbot and I can ask the same question this time with Bootstrap styling. So we simply type in our request and press enter. And ChatGPT will go off and try to produce what we want. So that was quite quick. And eventually it will produce a HTML form, but link it to Bootstrap so that we have styling. And we can see that later on, the difference between the two forms. So now that the code has been generated, we'll have a look at it. As you can see, it has generated the code that we need for a HTML form with Bootstrap, and then it gives me a little comment at the bottom. Even if you're not a programmer, you don't need to be a programmer to understand the power of what this thing has done. So ChatGPT has produced for me not just the HTML form, but it has prettied it up with CSS, which we will see in a wee second the difference between the two. And the third thing that we want to do then is we want to use it to do our JavaScript. So back in ChatGPT, so I'm just going to type JavaScript validation for HTML insurance quote form and press enter. This is the JavaScript in a function called validate form. And it continues and gives us validation for each of the boxes, vehicle, coverage, etc. Really powerful. Obviously you have to understand the code. You just can't type in and say that's it working. You need to understand what does all of this do. But it tells you here, here is a starting point and here is what I'm trying to do. So all I'm doing then is I'm copying this code and I'm putting it into an editor that we would use as developers. So this is the first one that we did, the HTML. And then this is the second one, the HTML with the Bootstrap. And once we're in our editor, I can just right click and go to open in default browser. Again, if you're not a developer, don't worry. This is just to show you, here's what it will look like. So then this is the form as it was developed by ChatGPT without any Bootstrap, just plain HTML. And this was the same form, but with the Bootstrap styling. So you can see the color of the button compared to before, and you can see that now everything isn't just uneven. It's evenly matched down here, and there's a little drop down to pick. So that is the power of what ChatGPT can do for a developer. It is absolutely unbelievable. So now we look at our last example. Let's have a look at an example that we may use within learning and development. So for example, if I wanted a course outline, I'll not type this straight into ChatGPT. I've already done it and we can just look, but you can try this yourself. So for example, I could ask for a course outline for full stack development, for Java, for Power Skills, for a junior full stack developer or a senior full stack developer. And when we do that, we can see what it comes back with. So I've said course structure for full stack development course for intermediate programmer level. And it comes up and tells me all the things that it thinks you should have in that course. Obviously, if we're in learning development, you can check this over with a SME or somebody else, but it's a great starting point. Then for a Java course outline, New Way to Belfast. So it goes and gives me some introduction to what I might want on a Java course. The third one then is for power skills. So what soft skills or power skills does a programmer need when working in an international technology company? Here we have an unbelievable list. May not suit you all, as we keep saying, but it's a great starting point. What's a job description for a full stack developer? So it gives me a job description for a junior full stack developer. And the last one is a job description for a senior full stack developer with Spring and React. Spring being the back end and React being the front end. So finally, are you impressed? Well, you should be impressed because it's amazing what this can do. This technology is amazing. It will not take over from what we do. It certainly can be a help to us. So enjoy. It's incredible, but remember, all that glitters is not gold. And finally, if you need any more help, don't call me in future. Talk to ChatGPT. Thank you.